Robin Chevry here. Welcome to today's Coffee and Clarity chat. Today I'm talking about environment and why changing it up can be so incredibly powerful for your personal growth, your business growth, all of that. So I know you've heard the expression, you are, the 5 people that you surround yourself with, and that's so incredibly true. But what happens when you shift and start surrounding yourself with other people, not only is it that you're like learning from those new people and you're absorbing like new information, new patterns, new habits, all of that, but you are removing the bad stuff, right? You're removing, I don't want to say the bad stuff, but you're removing the stuff that you don't want to hold on to anymore. And so I think the same thing happens when you travel. I think the same thing happens when you decide, think about when you're in the middle of just like an argument or a really uncomfortable situation, like all you want to do is just like move and get out of the room, get out of the way, get out of that space and like take a breath and reset. And for me, like that, obviously I spend most of my time now with people who inspire me and my clients and who inspire me as well. But, people online, people in groups who inspire me, which is why I'm heading off to an amazing event tonight with a few girlfriends and clients and things like that. So I'm super excited for that. But what really made some massive shifts, and I can think of 2 instances where massive transformations happened for me, and it wasn't because I was sitting at home and behind a computer. It was because I got out of my comfort zone and I did something super crazy. And that was actually both the times that I've gone on retreats for myself. So the first one I went on was in Costa Rica, and I had never really traveled very far. I had gone to Paris with my husband once, but other than that, we were not big travelers. It's something I always wanted to do, but I had never given myself permission to actually do that. And the opportunity came up for me to go for a week by myself to Costa Rica, be out literally in the jungle, you guys, in the middle of nowhere. We flew there, but then we took a tiny plane out into the middle of nowhere. We took a cab ride for 45 minutes, on dirt roads. I was like, what have I got myself into? I was never the one to take go on an adventure like that by myself, right? I always took risks. We moved to Florida very young. We didn't really know anybody down here and that kind of thing. But this was way out of, way out of the norm for me to go and do this. And it was not a business retreat. It was a detox, yoga, wellness retreat. But it separated me. Hey, Rena, it separated me from the day-to-day, what was going on in my day-to-day. We get just in it, right? We get in our patterns, we get in our routines, and we can't seem to shake ourselves out of it. And we've got to do something different in order to do that. So when I went there, it was one of the most powerful experiences I have ever had. And I know that it's why I completely fell in love with the country, but the people there, the environment, it was so literally a 180 from my day-to-day life. Showing up at a job every day, working 9 to 5, stress and hustle and all of this. And literally I was in the middle of nowhere in the jungle, practically living outside with monkeys and animals everywhere. And it was hitting the reset button, because within a few days of just being there and eating fresh and local, mostly vegetarian foods, it was something flipped in me, and I just was allowing myself to be unleashed again. I was allowing myself to just connect to this powerful feminine energy, this sexual energy, this creative energy, and it was just I had all these ideas and all these amazing things that I wanted to go and do, right? And I wish that I had have known at that time what all of that meant. I wish that I had have known more specifics on the next steps that I needed to take. But at that time, it was like a totally different me came back from that retreat. And it was because I left my environment. It wasn't because I like learned new information on how to run my business, but right after that is when I came home and had this massive launch. So it was like just completely shifting who I was back to who I was when I was younger, who I was when I was in my most powerful state, who I am at my highest state, right? And so getting out of your environment is just so powerful. But Costa Rica is amazing. Like I absolutely fell in love with it. I've gone back with my husband as well, but it's like I'm at a loss for words sometimes on what an experience that was and how life-changing it was, and why like I will forever go on retreats, why I host them now. Getting ready to host my first one here actually in just a couple of months. So if you are looking to go on your next retreat, definitely need to drop me a comment or let me know, and I'll get you the link for that, because there are a few spots open to go to Costa Rica with me for an amazing week away. But yeah, so the next one, about a year later, I was like in the middle of my, growing my coaching business, still working full time. And the opportunity for me, I'd had some success. The opportunity for me came to go to Bali. And Bali was number one on my bucket list. And I was like, I gotta go. I gotta do it. It was like absolutely insane, because I was gonna be going by myself, traveling halfway around the world from the US, going to Bali. I'd never been anywhere like that before. But I knew I had to go. I resisted it at first. I almost didn't go. But then a spot opened up for me, and I was like, okay, universe, like I get it. Like it's time for me to go. So I booked my ticket, I booked my flight, and I went, and it was, again, one of the most powerful experiences I've had, because it's just, not only are you there with like other women who are trying to learn and grow and release things and move forward, but you're like exploring a new area, and you're so literally out of your element that you have to let all those defenses down. You have to let all of those things down, and you have to just lean in, and like massive, massive things happen in those, on those retreats, because it's like you can spend all kinds of time trying to learn, but you're in your day-to-day routine, and you're in your day-to-day kind of energy. And so yes, you'll pick up and you'll learn, you'll take an online course, you'll be in a coaching program, you'll do all these things, and you'll make progress. But literally, like, take a week out, totally change your environment, change everything, and start to like learn and surround yourself with like a whole nother level of people, and like magic happens, you guys. Magic happens. So I just want to encourage you today to see what you can do. If you can't go on a retreat, which again, they're amazing, highly recommend, go on a retreat. Like, just get out of your comfort zone, get out of your environment, change it up, surround yourself with amazing people, of course. But if you can't do that yet, then I want you to think about ways that you can do that, like in your day-to-day life. So how can you like take a different way to work? Try a new restaurant, just try a new fitness class. Try something new where you have to go and you have to be a beginner, and you will see that you will start to shift. You will see that you will open yourself up more to experiences, and you will start to let things fall out of your life that you realized you were just holding on to because of habit, because that's just what you've fallen into, what you've allowed to come in. But when you start to change it up and you bring new and fresh energy into your life, all of that old stuff starts to fall away, and you've made room for the new, right? So I want to challenge you today to think about ways that you can change your environment each and every day in some small way, whether it's like rearranging furniture, taking a new way to work, like I said, whatever you can think of. I want you to think about just shifting your environment, because when you shift your environment, you shift. Like I said, the old stuff falls away, you make room for new, and it's just an amazing, amazing experience. Otherwise, you need to come meet me in Costa Rica. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I will chat with you all very soon on the next Coffee and Clarity Chat.